Alright, hi everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Um, we've changed a few things. I did have to pull up the ruler here so I could make these cuts. So welcome back to Proxy video. This will be now 6 since we just did 5 with the first part of the wing. And now we're ready to glue this, okay? So I did make some relief cuts here. This will allow me to glue down here and then glue across this strip and place it down. Okay, it's really important, as you can see, as we turn this and bend it, that we get that sitting down nice and flush. Okay, so I want to do it in strips. I think it's going to create a lot more strength in that wing as we go through. So glue gun is hot. We got plenty of glue, glued on an extra stick. If you haven't seen me do that, it's an easy thing to do. I just drop a little bit of glue on there and then press this in against the other one and it lengthens it. So we're ready to go. We've got our ruler taped down. We've got our edge taped down, so that'll hold it in place. Make sure to press down. That way it holds nice. And we're going to glue this edge and we're going to glue across this edge. All right, plenty of glue. We're going to start off. So, don't have a lot of time with this, but you definitely want to get a good, strong, healthy bead. Come on now. There we go. I have a new glue gun coming that hopefully I won't have the same problems that I'm having with this one. This worked. You know, this is just a little Harbor Freight, inexpensive glue gun. It did its job. All right, so we fold over and we're going to press and hold it down just like so. We're going to put our weights down to help hold the ends. And we'll put this down here. Get our weights down at the ends. And we're just going to hold that into position. Put our weights down. Come on. And we're just going to hold it. We're trying to keep that arch going. This is where we're starting the arch, and why I broke it up is so that as it sets each arch into the top, you know, it'll cement that curve that we're looking for. And we're going to hold this for a good long bit. I'm going to move those weights and hold this with my hand. And, you know, sing a song, do whatever you need to do. We're just going to hold it in place. We're holding, and holding. Especially for this first edge here. This is really going to help set this whole thing in, right? So take your time, be patient, don't rush this. Just keep checking as we go down. Everything's good. And that ruler just helps keep it centered over that foam board piece underneath that's helping create this arch. Okay, and all I'm feeling for is a little bit of that heat to go away. As you know, foam is a great insulator. So when we glue two pieces of foam together, it takes a while for that heat to dissipate, right? So that's why we're going to hold it for a good minute or so, just to make sure everything's cooled down enough so it's not going to move. And it's really important in this wing especially, more than any other wing, because we're setting an arch in the whole thing. We want to make sure that we're letting that glue cool. Okay, so I can feel a lot less heat now. We should be able to move this, and that definitely set our first little angle in there. I can feel it. So now with these, we can continue gluing down, right? And pressing. So we're going to hit both edges. And we don't need a ton, but we need enough that it's going to stick. And I know that went right into the glue. I just saw it go. We're going to glue both sides, just like so. And then again, we're going to roll it down. And we want to make sure we're setting that arch as we do this, pressing down that front edge and feeling that arch going. Right, I'm going to set this over here and back up. And I'm holding down that front edge. Maybe I can use the weights to my advantage there. But I'm pressing this arch into this. You can already see when we press this now, maybe you can see it on camera, I can definitely see it. The back edge here is when we're now about 1/8 of an inch from matching each other. And that's what I'm talking about, how when one goes one way and the other one goes over it, it has to travel more distance, basically. So it basically shortens it because they're the same. Now, if you really have to have everything the same, you know, your little ADD, no, not ADD, OCD about it, you could add that 1/8 inch, but I will show you, again folks, I'm sorry I didn't take my notifications off. I'll show you why it doesn't matter that is going to be 1/8 inch shorter. Because we want to create an airfoil shape, we're gonna cut that down. So we're gonna trim all that top off anyways. So it won't matter at all. You won't see it when we bevel that edge. It's not gonna matter at all. All right. So I think that's gonna be enough to set that angle. So at this point, I'm taking that. Oh, a lot of static in the air. Oh no, that's a glue stringer. All right, so at this point, we got to take this blue tape off because we don't want to glue that in. It's done its job, but as you can see, we're forcing that arch into it, and that's great. Now, it's really strong, really sturdy. It's not going to bend or break or anything else, and because we're going to be splitting out where the wings attach to, again, that's just creating basically the same thing that a Piper has with the little struts going out, right? All right, we're on to our final glue now. Try to keep the cord out, and this is just, get my finger out of the way here. We're going to go down. Now, just a quick thought, we're not going to glue all the way to the edge there. We're going to go about 1/4 inch off that edge. Why 1/4 inch or so off that edge? Well, as I said before, we're going to be trimming. Oh, I'm out of glue. Gotta do this quick. I have a lot of time. Because we're going to be trimming that edge, we don't want glue there and have to cut through the glue, right? Get that glue off my finger. Okay, press, put my weight down. I'm just going to hold it. Moving and pressing, holding it down. Put that here and here. That way I don't have to worry about the edge. And over here, I'm just visually checking everything. Again, press that down. Get that arch into our piece here. That's really what we're trying to to mimic here, right? Get that arch into it. Now we don't get all the arch out of it that we really want, right? But we're getting enough. And that's the key to this, right? Let that settle. Just gonna let that sit for a bit. I'm getting the same raise all the way across, so we're good there. That's pretty much where it's gonna be. And I'm happy with that. And again, we're gonna add some dihedral on some wing tips going out. That's just going to help us with flyability. We might be able to just, one stick fly it, which will be nice. But we are going to put ailerons on so that we can have some fun and be acrobatic, because the original Proxy, very acrobatic. Alright, so we take this off now. You can see, there we have it. It's a nice arched wing. So now we can take all our little rigs up. I think I'm just gonna tape these together for a future. I'll have this piece already set ready. Let me set that aside. Again, you can use that extra piece that you had to cut those out. Peel up our tape here. And that's it. Our wing is now set. We've got clearance underneath. It lays nice and flat. There's no real rocking going on. We're happy. So the final thing to do with this, I'm not going to do it yet because I want to figure out, I have not come up with a plan of what I'm going to do out here, other than I'm doing something out here, right? The nice part is I can use this to do that. I'm not going to make a doubled form coming off the tip. I may change my mind. We might go ahead and pull another sheet and do something like that. We're just kind of winging it, as we go here to see what we want to do, right? At this point too, I would go through, you can see here. So what I've done is to show you on our frame is I've made sure that I'm off here and here, right? And I got some extra. So I want to make sure that those are really, really strong. And then I made my cuts for my ailerons. So at this point, I could take this and put it down, but we're going to go with measurements, right? So what I've done is gone in from the edge, and it's 10 inches, it looks like, is where I made the first mark, and then I cut the reliefs. All right. So just take our pen, take our ruler, we go down, and we can do this right on this edge, it's fine. Line up our thing, go right to 10, make a mark, go over to this side, we'll go off of the 30, go into 10, or 20 in this case, and make our mark, right? Now to make this square, I actually did, checking the, so I went in 2 inches, which is pretty big. for a flap. That's basically that first little line up there. So we can go and use that line, come to the edge, and make our 10. Do that, and then we know basically we'll correct that with those are going to be our ailerons. All right. Clean up area here so we're not so cluttered. And that's going to be our ailerons cut right on that line. So I know they're a bit big. They probably don't need to be as big. I like bigger control surfaces. That's just a personal preference. You could do 1.5 inches. You could do 1 inch. Whatever you want to. Remember, this is your plane. Do it the way you want to. I'm just showing you how I'm doing mine. Giving you points and hints on how to achieve certain things. You do not have to have a curved wing like I'm doing here. I want a curved wing because I want more float. So that's why I've done a curved wing. You could easily do a straight flat wing, you know. You could also have put in, your foam down here and created a regular style airfoil, put a foam spar in there. You could put a carbon fiber spar in there if you really feel like you're going to put a heavier motor or you want to do some fast flying. You can do whatever you want to with this. This is the beauty of this. It's just the way I'm doing it. So if you're trying to follow along and create the same plane that I'm doing, well, this is how I'm doing it, okay? But you, by all means, don't have to follow this. If you want a longer wingspan, you want to do a 60-inch wingspan, you could make one wing, make another. You could put your dihedral here. You could do polydihedral and, put more dihedral out on the ends. Make a 3-channel if that's what you're into. Again, make what you want. You don't have to make what I'm making. This is just my process of what I'm doing for what I want. All right. So that's the key to this, right? I can't stress enough that this is just my way of doing it for this project. I've definitely used foam spars and made a more of a traditional airfoil for some of my planes. You could also use a KF airfoil if you really wanted to. KFM airfoils, super easy. One flat, and then you're just going to go at least, I think it's 2/3 or a third, I'm sorry, a third of whatever your core wing is to put the KF in there. That just a step. Super easy. Again, make your own thing. Do what you want. If you want this to be a faster flyer, by all means, make a different airfoil than what I am. So that is going to do it for this video. In the next video, I'll be making the tips, figuring out how to join them. I do know that, because this is arched, as I go to make this, I'm going to need to arch whatever piece I'm going to create that dihedral with so that it matches this. It's a nice straight cut, but we are going to have to create that dihedral. And usually with my dihedral, I usually use something like this or an older one to create that, especially 6 to 8 inches, which is what I'm going to put out there. That should be plenty of dihedral. If you're just making a little tip, you could go with something like this that's going to be closer up. Obviously, the closer you move something in, the more angle you get. So the farther away, if you want more angle, you need to increase the size of this. And as you do this kind of thing, you'll definitely lose some of whatever dihedral you put into it. So, if I go 8 inches and I use that at the tip, that's going to be plenty of dihedral to do it. Remember too, we've also got, this angled. So as I do that, I want to make sure I get plenty of dihedral angle into that. So that's it, folks. We'll continue on. The next one, I will trim this down. I'm going to sand it nice and smooth, and I'm going to do all that before I peel the paper, because I want that rigidity as I'm doing this cut. So, but we'll hit that in the next video. Go make it. You can do it. Hopefully you're enjoying all this video content, and we will see you in the next video. Have a wonderful day.